Are your people working hard but not reaching their full potential? The problem is not effort, it is development. At the Modern Observer Group, we transform workforce development into real performance. Our human-centered achievement programs help your team think better, communicate stronger, and execute at a higher level. That means higher employee engagement, stronger leadership, and measurable results across your organization. If you want a workforce that performs, leads, and delivers, it is time to invest in your people. Visit modernobserver.com and discover how the Modern Observer Group helps you build a workforce that wins.
Trump issues a warning to Iran. Virginia's redistricting dead on arrival. Cuba considering an attack on the U.S. and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Trump warned Iran to get moving or there won't be anything left of them. In a post on Truth Social Sunday, the president wrote, "The clock is ticking on an Iran peace deal, and time is of the essence." While the current ceasefire has no firm expiration date, tensions between the two nations continue to simmer while they remain at odds on a long-term solution. On his way home from China on Friday, President Trump told reporters that Iran offering a 20-year moratorium on its nuclear program would be sufficient for him to end the war, saying 20 years is enough, but the level of guarantee from them is not enough. In other words, it's got to be a real 20 years. Administration officials, however, denied that anything less than a complete and permanent end to the program would be sufficient. Ukraine carried out deadly drone strikes on Russia on Saturday, including one of the largest attacks on Moscow since the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Russia's defense ministry said that over 1,000 drones were shot down or jammed. The strikes were seen as retaliation for a Russian drone attack that killed 24 people in Kiev last week. U.S. and Nigerian forces killed the leader of the Islamic State group in Nigeria in a mission on Saturday. A spokesman for the Nigerian Military Task Force said the mission was a highly complex precision air-land operation and was carried out during 3 hours of darkness early Saturday without any casualties or loss of assets. President Donald Trump identified Abu Bakr al-Manuki as the second in command of the Islamic State group globally and the senior leader of the administrative body that provides operational guidance and funding around the world. U.S. Africa Command's initial assessment indicated that multiple terrorists, including other senior ISIS leaders, were killed in the operation. Cuba has been discussing plans to use drones to attack the U.S. naval base at Guantánamo Bay and even the Florida Keys, according to classified intelligence described by Axios. The Cuban government now has over 300 military drones, Axios said. On Sunday, the Cuban embassy in the U.S. said Cuba has the right to defend itself against external aggression. The Supreme Court on Friday rejected Virginia's bid to restore a congressional map that would have given Democrats a chance to pick up 4 seats in the closely divided House of Representatives. Without any noted dissents, the justices declined to block a split decision from Virginia's top court that Democrats didn't follow the proper procedures in sending their proposal to voters. Democrats hope to enact a favorable 10-to-1 design that would add 4 pickup opportunities in the battle for the House in November. The House on Friday passed its first appropriations bill for fiscal 2027 with bipartisan support, marking an early step in the annual government funding process and sending the measure to the Senate for consideration. The Military Construction and Veterans Affairs Appropriations Bill passed the lower chamber by a vote of 400 to 15. All 15 no votes came from Democrats. The legislation would fund veterans' benefits, invest more than $2 billion in infrastructure improvements for Department of Veterans Affairs medical facilities and 4 cemeteries, and include $900 million for medical and prosthetic research, among other things. That's the Raw Naked Truth for May 18th, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.